us. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money, and whatever else you bring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. Come of all of us, and I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. 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 I've seen a lot of bankers, and I've seen a lot of cops. I've seen a lot of lawyers pull out all of the stops. I've seen a lot of children with their parents in their hands. I felt a lot of women who refuse to understand. And I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money, and whatever else you bring. And I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. 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 Took everything that I had, yeah. Walked away, but you left one thing behind. You're wondering just what that is. Yes, you are. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. When the wall comes tumbling down, I'll be there. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. We're gonna make a little love down by the water. Maybe I'm the sun, maybe I'm a daughter when the music man calls. That's when I gotta play. So I burn for the things I never had. I'm burning with hate, with love. Spin around. 'Cause as a boy I had a dream. Carry it with me today. Yes, I do. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. When the walls come tumbling down, I'll be there. When Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of the new. Oh, na 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 na. Seems to me that I have lost my friend. Catch the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must go back before it's too late. You're afraid, you're feeling alone. Time and space can never unfold. The holidays can ring in your fear. The ghost embrace can only mean tears. And I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to lands of the new. Oh, na 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 na. Sitting at the lake, I'm feeling confused, but I had my guitar, so I played this blues. But I'm afraid, what might be true, that I might never be back Seems to me that I've lost my friend. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must be back before it's too late. Before it's too late. Someone to take me down at night. Someone to make my day. New revelation fills my soul. Oh, I can waste away. You distracting my attention. You're all that's on my mind. Not looking for perfection, but you're too hard to find. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone new. Yeah, 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 you. Oh, you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Oh, you. Yeah, you. Oh, you. Yeah, you. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where did my color go? Got your head in the sand. You can't be in control using a powerful hand. I wanna be you, I wanna see you. Don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. You're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hot little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue, yeah. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cat learns to ring a bell. Rat gets free from the maze. We can be taught to love. We've got to learn a new way. I wanna see you, I wanna be you. Don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, add a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue. Yeah, 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 I wanna be, I wanna see, don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late, late, late. Push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hot little color is black and white and blue. Yeah, black and white and blue. You're going black and white on the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hot little color is black and white and blue. Black and white and blue. Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of the new.
Hello, everybody. What's going on? How's it going? How is this? How it there? How it is? We are
Merry
here.
New Year!
Merry New Year.
Merry New Year!
Oh,
what's up,
my
everybody?
man Eric from Cameroon. Oh my. Okay.
Anyway, what's up, everybody?
Good. What's going on, everybody? How's it going out in AstroWorld land? We got 21 people hanging out with us. What's $1? Yes.
$1.
Mortimer,
$1.
your brother's dying. F him. But yeah. So how's it going, everybody? Welcome to our night of Astro Tech Chat, I guess we could call it, or just have fun.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're not on YouTube,
Hold on.
that's for sure.
Give it a second.
There we
coming
go.
back.
We're coming back.
Coming
Hold on.
back.
Whoa.
Back.
We're back.
And yep, we're back all together, and we're back. Hi, everybody. I don't know what the hell happened, but that was the weirdest thing. I don't know how we gained 2 more. We gained 3 more viewers. We weren't even on. So so how's it going, everybody? We are here again, and so I don't know how much you got of that, because I was going off on a. I know. I got to pay the bills, the electric, the internet. It's all garbage.
Yep.
But anyway, so Eric's going to talk a little bit about what's in the sky coming up, and Pete's going to talk about his toy. I got some news that I'm going to talk about, and I am sure Scott will give us music on his phone somewhere along the way. So, so that being said, welcome everybody. Let's do a real quick shout out to everybody and the sponsors real quick. Let's see, SPO sponsors. Here we go. And here, and go back and quick play, and here we go. So thank you to all of our sponsors again. Without all of you, we couldn't do any of this and have any of these giveaways. So thank you to our sponsors over at Woodland Hills Camera and Telescopes at our main sequence level. So thank you so much for all the gift certificates and the prizes that you give us. Prima Luce Lab as well. Thank you so much for the Eagle giveaway. We're giving away a Camera Concepts gift certificate tonight. And I believe on this Friday, if I remember right, I think we're giving away another Optolong giveaway. We're getting close. We're getting close to the coveted SHO 3 nanometer 2-inch filter giveaway. So we're looking forward to getting rid of that finally to a lucky winner. Also, to Masters of Pix Insight and IPV for AP, we give away classes almost every Friday night. So thank you so much to them. Also, their next class, I believe, is now October 11th, if I remember right. Let me see real quick. And it's Next Steps for Newbies. And that's going to be, October 11th at 7 p.m. If you don't win a free class, go and check it out at mastersofpixinsight.com. And you could sign up for any of their workshops, even if it was in the past, and all for the same price, $35 a class. So really good deal. Thank you to all the members that are on Patreon and YouTube. We have different levels, and each level gets a different set of perks. So definitely check us out on Patreon at AstroWorld TV and join us. And you'll also be able to see my latest cloud rant that I just threw up and it's only for Patreon members only. So it's not going to be on YouTube because they would not let me put it up because of the amount of cursing that was on it. So that being said, our Black Hole members, our Red Giant members, thank you to everybody. Main Sequence, White Dwarf, and Protostar members. So thank you to everybody that's contributing to the channel. It just makes things better for everybody and all the giveaways even better. So thank you to everybody. As far as guest members, November 9th is our next guest right now. It's going to be Dr. Sass, the return of Dr. Sass from My Telescope. Is going to come and hang out with us and talk about all the new stuff that he's got going on through iTelescope. And I know he just got back from Australia. He'll be happy to give us a walkthrough on what's going on down there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then November 23rd, we're going to have a Thanksgiving special. The Thanksgiving special show. It's going to be threesome. It's the Sass, Bracken, Whitby, the trifecta. So if you find 3 horses with those last names, you better bet on them for Thanksgiving. And then so we got Dr. Sass, Charles Braxton, and Dr. Max Whitby, all going to be on at the same time, talking about astrophotography, books, imaging, imaging remotely, and imaging with your own equipment. It's going to be very, very cool. So that's going to be the day before Thanksgiving. A lot of fun. And then, of course, Astropalooza is coming up December 10th. No new guests so far. And again, I just sent a lot of the membership at AstroWorld. Whoever I had an email for got an email today regarding anybody that wants to do a presentation to respond to that email. So throwing it out to the membership first. And again, as always, please join us on our social media platforms. We're up to 83 people on the Discord channel. Very nice. And we're up to almost 1,300 subscribers on YouTube. Kind of tough thing to do when you're only doing live shows. So it's thank you to all of our subscribers, our members. It's pretty awesome. Check us out on Twitch. We have 20-something members on there, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So thank you so much, everybody, for listening to me there. And on that note, we go back to the live shot. And we be back.
We'll be back.
So just a couple of housekeeping things. For those of you that remember, we gave away the Charles Bracken autograph books, right?
Yep.
So the winner of this book, Susan Vieira, has not gotten back to me by email or anything regarding an address to ship this. So Susan, if you're listening, great. Get back to me, please, so I can send you your winning. I will send out 2 more notices, and by the 3rd notice, after week after, we'll be raffling this off again if there's no answer. So please answer so I can get it to the proper winner. Cherry Springs Black Forest for me is a washout. So for one day going out there, driving 6 hours there, 6 hours back, to me, it doesn't make any sense. So it looks like it's going to be clear the first part of Saturday and not clear the second part. Friday, a little bit of the same. So that being said, I will not be going. So we will be having a show on Friday night and hanging out again. Let me show something real quick here. Let's see. Quick play and all right. So for those of you that have been on the AstroWorld website, you may notice some differences here. A couple of things. Our Patreon link is right on the front page now. If you want to make a contribution with PayPal, you could donate to us through PayPal as well. The program schedule is now listed not only till the end of the month, it's listed for many months. Okay? It also has different colors. So if we're going dark, it's red. Green is for beginners, is when you're green, you're growing, right? So, and then blue is for the Friday night show, or blue is for the Wednesday night show, sorry. And then yellow is for any guest star. Okay. You can also get the guest stars right down here. One other thing that's changed on here is, and I hope it works. Last time we did this, it didn't work. AstroWorld Store is up with a new vendor. Looks a little different. Looks a little nicer. Some different things. If everybody could kind of go through this and see if there's any other things that you want up there, and if they are available, I'll start putting up some more things. I just got a couple of things from it, and let me see if I can go back. I got a couple of things from it already, and I got a nice little AstroWorld flag. Nice. Very cool. And the hoodie is back. I know Eric has one, but the hoodie is back. It's nice. It's if you order one size bigger though, unless you want to stretch it out, but it's nice and it's embroidered here.
That's a much nicer hoodie than the one that I have.
Yeah, I also have one with a zipper too. I just put it up there. There's going to be a zipper one, and on the back on this one, you got a nice big logo on the back. So those are all up. And remember, anything you buy off that, same thing, 10% will go to a members astronomy club. And if you want your astronomy club on there, hit me up at dan@astroworldweb.com. Last thing, I think that's it. That's my whole list.
That's your whole list, huh?
That's my whole list. I did it all in the beginning. The only thing that we should do in the beginning, also, Eric, you and I should really talk about, and you can start it off because I've been talking a lot and my throat's killing me already, about your nonprofit organization that you've been talking about.
Yeah, Reach for the Stars.
Reach for the Stars. That's right.
Yep. So we can definitely talk about them really quick. I'll go ahead and share my screen here, and we'll bring that on over. And this is Reach for the Stars. They're based out in Tucson, Arizona. They're a nonprofit that actually reached out to me. The reason I'm blasting this out is, well, they reached out to me over Cloudy Nights when I was selling some gear, and they're a nonprofit that is led by veterans, which I am a veteran myself, that are helping out young children who are suffering through mental health issues, or poverty or other types of situations that these poor kids are going through, and they're using astronomy to give them a better quality of life, to help improve their mental health, and teach them about, astronomy, science, and technology, and other things. And I really think that this was something worthwhile to have an opportunity to tell everyone about this nonprofit. We're going to bring them on. I got to schedule this with the rest of the crew to bring them on very soon, so they can talk a little bit about who they are, what they do, and what they're trying, what their goals are as far as working with these children and young people. And so I would like to have some sort of a fundraiser, GoFundMe, PayPal, whatever. We can figure that out just beforehand to help them out, because they definitely are in need of equipment, improved equipment, and dollars to buy equipment to help these children and these kids out, help their community out. And I really think it is a worthwhile and very lofty goal that these folks are having for these kids. And I think it's so important for us to continue outreach wherever we are. But with these children, from what I've been understanding, they've gone through a lot. And this is just one of the ways that this couple is trying to give back. So definitely the website is it's called Reach for the Stars, rfts.com or rftstars.com. And please go ahead, check them out, look them up, learn a little bit more about them, and see if you even want to personally reach out to them as well. And maybe if you have some older equipment that you've been thinking about that's collecting dust, like Dan, you've got a buttload of stuff in the closet of death of yours, that we can be able to utilize and pass on to these folks, and pass on to the next generation of future astronomers, and give them an opportunity to enjoy what we already enjoy and already are blessed to have an advantage to take advantage of. So more to come on this, but just want to blast this out here, and we'll keep you posted real soon.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like a really awesome organization. And if you want to make a donation either through AstroWorld, or let me get this off here. Either make your own donation with them, or what I would really like to do is make a big donation with AstroWorld and list everybody who donated on it, and then just make one big donation from the. And if you want to donate, all you need to do is go onto the front web page, donate with PayPal, and in the notes put what organization you want to donate to, and I will make sure it gets there. So I'd love to do. Yeah, I think a fundraiser thing would be very cool. Maybe we should set a date for just like a fundraising night for these two organizations.
Yeah. I like I said, we'll talk a little bit more offline too, because I want to be able to get their CEO that is in charge of this nonprofit onto the show, so he can talk a little bit about what he and his fellow veterans are trying to do for these children. And I really just think it's an admirable thing, So unfortunately, the equipment I was going to give, it was already gone. But there's other stuff that I'm gonna try to find, and other and money as well that I'm going to also personally pass on to them, and see what and make my own little contribution to them.
Sure.
Yeah, charitable donation. It's all about trying to pay it forward.
Absolutely.
I was very fortunate, to be, in this type of a position, to have this type of a forum, to share this out there and share this to the masses. So let's just see what we can do, and I'm sure any bit will help. So what I just ask our viewers membership, check out the website. And if you feel, so inclined to make a donation or pass on any old, pre-owned equipment or anything like that you're no longer, using, let it go to a good cause.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, so we go from the honorable thing to the dishonorable thing. Well, kind of, sort of, but, so for those of you that don't know, this is something that I've been talking to, I've been emailing. It's been a little bit tough back and forth with the gentleman who's in charge of this. So out in Lima, Ohio. Yeah, Ohio. At the Lima Astronomical Society, they got a lot of stuff stolen right from their observatory. And this is, if I remember right, it's a 501c3. So it's a tax exempt company that does a lot of outreach in the community. I checked it out. I looked at it in the Lima news. It was all over the news over there. Basically, what happened was somebody got into the observatory, stole their C14, their whole set of Explore Scientific eyepieces, and some TeleView eyepieces as well, not to mention all the accessories and stuff that were laying around. So they started a GoFundMe, and they're trying to raise money to recoup their damages, because a C14 and all the accessories is quite a huge chunk of change. So right now, they started this, I guess, about 2 weeks ago, if I remember right. Let's see. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. And they got about $1,100 in donations so far, almost 12. But they have a long way to go. And again, same thing. This is something that that one of the members forwarded to me. I forget who it was, on the Discord channel. And then I started the conversation with Mr. Ritchie. So hopefully we could get the Astronomical Society over in Lima, Ohio, to come on as well and walk us through what they do for their community, and what they do for the people and the outreach that they do, and that they no longer can because of the theft of the equipment. So again, if you're interested and you want to donate on behalf of AstroWorld, you can go to the AstroWorldWeb.com website. Again, same thing. Go to the PayPal, make a donation, and in the notes put either LAS or Reach for the Stars for Eric. So, and we will all list all of the names of all the people that donated, if you want them. If you don't want them listed, we'll do that as well. But if you don't want to do that, they do have a GoFundMe. Just look up telescope burglary, and it's right there. So, so that being said, so those are the two things that Eric and I are both working at right now to kind of help out some people. So, everybody, if you have some extra cash, please, make these guys, help them out, on both accounts.
Yeah.
If you want to donate an eyepiece, I'm sure they'll take it. If you want to donate something, I'm sure they'll take it as well. So they do a lot out there. So it'd be nice. So anyway,
Really.
yeah. So what do we got? Anybody in the chat chilling? Let's see.
No, but like I was, we were talking a little bit earlier before we got cut off. It's almost the new moon.
Yep.
We're getting closer to, the new moon for September. I believe it is on the 25th is the official date of the new moon. There's a lot of things happening right now. Planetary imagers, get out there if you can and grab Jupiter because it's in opposition. So that's big right now. There's lots of other things that are going on out in this night sky. We're getting what is it? Today is today actually the equinox? The autumnal equinox, I believe, is today.
Tomorrow. It's
which is
tomorrow.
actually
Tomorrow,
the,
22nd.
is it tomorrow, the 22nd. So we're at the end of summer and at the beginning of fall. So I love this time of year only for, a couple reasons. One, it's starting to get cooler. The nights are getting longer, which means imaging time is longer.
Absolutely.
So, there's so many things out there. Even when it's not a good imaging night, I can get out in the backyard and, start a fire and chill out with the family. So I love this time of year. And of course, it's football season.
Be
So you
careful
cannot
when you
go
say
wrong.
fire. Be careful.
Yeah, fire.
Fire.
Fire. But it's football season, because I'm a big football fan.
Yes, you are.
Hockey for you guys is coming up soon, or
Yes,
is it
sir.
starting pretty soon? So hey, fall time is a great time. We're getting to have chilly weather. So it's just a great time of year. I'm still out here. I'm working in Cepheus, hail to the king, baby. So that is a constellation with so much around it, and within it, it's great. I mean, you got Elephant Trunk out there. You've got the Wizard. You've got, a bunch of, oh my gosh, the dark nebulae that are out there, especially now with it being new moon. Start cranking out the one shots and cranking out the LRGB filters, and just have at it, guys. It's a lot of great times to just be out there, and if you got the weather to cooperate with you, go for it. So just check out Tegan. I mean, he does a lot as far as what's in the night sky for September.
Yep.
I'm personally going to start doing a bit more research and presenting what's in the night sky, especially as we get closer towards our monthly new moons, because new moon season is usually it's broadband season. So for those that don't understand basically what that means, is that's when you really start bringing out when monochrome, those LRGB filters, or you're really utilizing those one-shot colors. And God bless my brother here, Scott, man, because he must be tired as hell. he must be zonked, but he's all good. But LRGB that's the time right now for get out there, getting those dark nebulae, getting the reflection nebulae, those image, where you don't necessarily need the narrow band. Get out there and have some fun. Get those high contrast, those ultra high contrast filters out, those nice light pollution filters, your L Pros, you name it. Get them out there and just have some fun looking into the night sky, start imaging and enjoy yourself. So
I mean, I just put up an image. So I know I made a promise to myself that I was going to put up at least one image of mine per month, just to get it out there. So I thought it'd be interesting because we are getting closer to new moon. So it's an older photo that I took. But I took a shot of M51. I think it was even last year with LRGB, because I wanted to see what you could do with LRGB from these skies, because these skies are just completely disastrous. And what I did was I took a look at it, and it was less than 2 hours worth of data. I think it was 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes LRGB. And I think all said and done, I think it turned out to be 55 2-minute shots. There was some others. And you know what? It came out okay. But you know what? It came out more than okay. I thought it came out really good, considering it's only less than 2 hours worth of data, LRGB in Bortle 8 skies. So take a look at it on either YouTube. Yeah, I mean, as a matter of fact, I think I've shown it on the show.
You got to go if you got to go short exposure, with those type of skies on LRGB. So for sure.
Yeah. So I'll just show you. I think I showed it on the show once before, but I'll show it real quick. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Put it over to the side over here, and There you go.
I mean,
So-
right now
so
with
that's
all the
it.
fall. Let's see what you got. You got it.
Yep, it's up. There you go. How's that?
There it is.
There you go.
There it is.
So, I mean, 2 hours worth of data, no H alpha, just LRGB. Again, in borderline skies. So, you know, some processing issues here. I got some red stars here. You know, that I think that has to do with noise reduction. I mean, some decent, decent detail. 2 hours. Again, that's from my backyard in Levittown, and look pretty good. So
yeah,
not bad. So I'm looking forward to doing some
No,
more
not bad at all,
LRGB. Anyway, I don't want to show that yet. That's the LRGB from when Scott went dark. But that's just that's what you can do in really bad skies. So when people are out there that say, I can't do OSC or I can't do LRGB from from my house because it's too light polluted, that's not true.
Yeah, I mean, this is when it's, and I know I've sent this out before, and it's a really good. I think it's a really good guide, at least if you have SharpCap and SharpCap Pro, to be able to use the smart histogram to start really determining exposure times and everything. And if you're in light polluted skies, of course, if you are going to be in a light polluted sky and you're going to be shooting LRGB, it's the shorter the exposure, the better, because you can keep out that the night glow, the sky glow, and everything. But it could also give you a really good idea of how many exposures, numbers of exposures you're probably going to need to take for LRGB if you are in a high border, sky.
Well,
So that was just 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it's 55 2-minute shots, so it's 10 minutes mine, so an hour and 50.
Okay,
and
that's still really good.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing, though. So just keep in mind the difference between OSC and LRGB in light polluted skies. With LRGB, and you're shooting color filters, you do have some inherent light pollution protection when you're doing separate wavelengths for each color. You could shoot a little bit longer, you could get away with a little bit more. With one shot color, you need to shoot a lot less because you're letting the full spectrum of light coming through and hitting your chip. So I think you made a good point, Eric, where to start with that and use as a benchmark that smart histogram from SharpCap, and just make sure if you don't know how to do it, Eric's got a really cool video on how to do it. Go check it out at Astro with Eric, because he does a really good job explaining it. As a matter of fact, I guess about a year ago we attempted to do a live smart histogram. Didn't work out as we would have liked, but you know what?
But you know what? I might do it again. I may do it again, because
I'm going to do it again. I'm definitely going to do it again.
I'm gonna have to take a look at my skies for Friday, and maybe I'll do it on Friday. If the skies are permitting, because we're right there at new moon. Maybe I'll just take a quick look here for Friday, and if Friday is a good night, then we can give it a shot.
Oh, I know Friday is going to be good, decent here. I don't know what it's going to be look like over Europe.
Yeah, no, that's what That's just always the bummer, and unfortunately for me, it's not. So that's kind of stinks.
Yeah, so
anyway.
we could do what we did the last time. You could talk about it, and I could run it from my scope like the last time.
Yeah, there you
go. Yeah,
there you go.
I got new toys coming too.
Okay.
I bought 2 more flat panels. I bought well, they were all in anticipation for the Alto Giotto combo from Prima Luce Lab. So the Alto isn't out yet, but the Giotto is. So I could take it and I could use the screw things for now. But I also want to see how long it makes the scope, because I have a $300 case in there that I haven't cut the foam yet because I'm waiting for the flat panel to come so I could, because the flat panel is going to stay there. It's never coming off because it doubles as a cap. So that being said,
yeah, you just mentioned that.
yeah. So it literally, so the way, so your scope is this way, right? Your flat cap is this way, and this is going to be hard to do because I'm not Plastic Man. But so what happens is when it's being used, it closes up to your lens. When it's not being used, it not only goes that way, it goes all the way under the scope, 270 degrees from here to here. And so it lays underneath the scope. So when you're, out in the field, God forbid you got a flat panel sticking up like this. It's just like a wind catcher. It's gonna wave everything. So it's nice that it goes up against the bottom of the scope, so it doesn't have any resistance to the wind.
Yeah, but now, hey Scott, since you're a photographer, what would be, because now that we are in the new moon, this could possibly be a good time for any type of photography using just a DSLR and a lens. I think you should be able to get, if you are in a good spot, say a nice low Bortle spot, you can go out and do some Milky Way imaging, right? I mean, what type of lens would that be? What would you recommend? Would that be like a 24 millimeter to do some type of or lower? Would you think it'd be more like what, 12 or 18?
Well, you're
millimeter? What do you think?
Going below 20, you're gonna start to get distortion to the edges, just basically because of the physics of the lens. But I think the sweet spot is somewhere around 24.
Okay.
Yeah, 24 to 28, like that.
Okay.
If you can get a prime, that's even better. Nice and sharp. Yeah. Primes are nice and sharp.
Okay.
I think the Rokinons, there have been a lot of people that have had good luck with the Rokinons, and I personally don't have any Rokinons. I'm all Nikon and Sigma.
Okay.
But and the Sigmas are also an excellent choice.
I know when we had last week, didn't you guys were talking a little bit about lenses, and you mentioned there was a Sigma line.
Yeah,
wasn't there? Like
Sigma Art.
The Art.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Art. It's an elite class of lenses. An Art lens will run you. Well, they'll regularly go over $1,000.
Yep.
Oh wow,
they're not cheap.
No, they're
some of the
super
Art lenses
fast
are
and
several
super
thousand.
crisp, man. Those things are unbelievable.
Yep, they're very nice.
Well, remember though,
the other thing.
Go ahead, Pete. Sorry.
Your stars are going to get reflected with lenses based upon what the shutter is, right? So if you're at a 5.6, you're going to have 5 spikes. If you're an f8, you're going to have 8 spikes because it's the leaf shutter, and it definitely gives that spike look to your stars. So typically, you can't go down to f2.8 because it's too soft. So typically, 4 to 5.6 is the sweet spot for your shutters on lenses.
Okay,
that's an interesting point.
You're talking about the aperture.
Yeah, because once again, remember your shutters are those kind of like leaf shutters, right? I mean, they kind of open up like that. So you'll notice on your stars, you're going to have basically, if you're at f5.6, you're going to have 5 spikes. If you're at f8, you're going to have 8 spikes. If you're at f4, you're going to have 4 spikes.
That's a good point.
If you don't mind that.
Ernie was talking about.
I like it.
Yeah. Ernie was talking about using step down rings instead of using your aperture settings, so you can do that too.
Step down rings?
Yep.
Okay.
It's just been echoed again by Dave as well, so you could use that as well.
Yeah, because hold on, because Scott, get your opinion on that. Yeah.
What is he doing?
Sorry. Here we are. This
There
is
you
the
go.
one I think that I wanted to that I think one that I used. This is a Rokinon or it's a Samyang. It's basically it's a
Same
Samyang.
thing. Just
Rokinon's
rebranded.
the same thing. Yeah, just rebranded. And this is a 24 millimeter. This is an f 1.4. 24
Yeah, but that's
millimeter.
adjustable.
Yeah, but it is adjustable. And with this, yeah, I could go to, so I can adjust this here. I can adjust its f-stop or its f-ratio to, so Pete, you were mentioning like an f4, 5, 6, or 8.
Basically, I would suggest going between 4 and 5, 6, because as I said, it depends if you like, unless,
I don't know.
do you like star
I'm not
spikes?
gonna
I
say
mean,
that.
people like them, some people don't like them, Eric, so depends
Yeah.
upon what you like. If you want to minimize them, then I would say go to 4. If you don't mind them, then maybe 5, 6. But typically 4 to 5, 6 is a sweet spot. You could push it up to 8, but you're going to get on your prominent stars, you're going to get 8 star spikes.
Gotcha.
It's just the inherent nature of that. Is that what it's called? Is it Scott? Is it called a leaf shutter?
It's
The
their
aperture, you know,
aperture blades. They're aperture
the
blades.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like my
No.
Nikons they're typically a 9-blade setup. They have 9 blades in them.
Okay. And you don't want to necessarily, I mean, you've got the infinity focus here and everything, but you don't necessarily need that. But you're going to go that route towards infinity, but you want to maybe go a little bit away from there.
Before infinity, just a slight hair before infinity is where you want to be, Eric.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, because of just how my camera is, you won't be able to see it very well. For anybody who can notice that, I don't know, the infinity.
Barely,
Right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's a little to the left. Yep.
It's a little to the left right there. So slightly to the left there.
So what you can do there, Eric, hold on.
And this is what I'm saying is, if anybody wants to do any type of Milky Way shots, or if you have, because we've talked about this, I've talked about this in the past, using what you already have, if you just have a DSLR, if you can, think about the Samyang or Rokinon, this is a prime lens. So this is, which means it's not a zoom lens. It's just straight, 24 millimeter, and it's very reasonably priced, and it's a really, really good lens. Rokinon and Samyang, they're the same thing. So if you see Samyang, you see Rokinon, same brand. So just anybody who's wondering.
You also don't need the hood, for doing the shots. You take the hood off, and you can get you should be able to get a clamp-on Batnoff mask that will fit on those, that is adjustable. That it clamps basically onto the body of the lens at the front element, and then you've got a Batnoff mask.
Yep.
To give nice sharp focus.
So you can get nice sharp focus. Don't forget to, if you have a DSLR, utilize that zoom feature that's in your live view. I know on my Canon 6D and the 3s, you can go up to 10 times zoom. And so you can be able to utilize that Batnoff mask to get really good focus, and then you just back off. So yeah, for sure. This is something, if also there is an app, Photo Pills.
Yep.
You can look up Photo Pills, and Photo Pills is really good. If you want to go to a dark site and do some Milky Way shots, Photo Pills is really, really good, because it gives you because you can put in your information as far as your location, and then you can dial in and be able to tell you when it's going to be the galactic core, and the arms when it's going to be coming towards what time it's going to be, and so you can better plan. It's a really good planning tool, is what I'm trying to get at. So for DSLR and for Milky Way shots and stuff like that. So that is a really good option.
Yeah, and to your point, I think I was using the 14 millimeter
Mm-hmm.
that Mike, one of our subscribers, actually let me borrow to do the Parade of Planets. And
Okay.
you're right. At the edges, Scott, you just start to see some, because a fisheye lens, so you
Yep.
start seeing some kind of artifacts and
Distortion.
distortion on the edges because of it's just like looking in a fishbowl. Say you look at a fishbowl, straight through the fishbowl, you're fine. You look to
Mm-hmm.
the sides and it's all warped on the sides, so it's not that grand of an effect, but you start seeing some sort of effects on it.
Yeah. That's a good
Can I,
question. Somebody was mentioning something about the utilizing the William Optics Batinoff mask. I have a William Optics, for the lens itself for my FLT91. But other than that, no, I have not actually used it for any of my camera lenses, though.
Yeah, no, yeah, you know what? I believe what's that place, that 3D place? Thing,
Thingiverse?
Thingiverse. They have a
Thingiverse.
whole bunch of 3D printable Batinov masks for lenses. It
Yeah.
all bases on the millimeter of your filter size on the front. So if it's
Okay.
58 or 63 or whatever, it's all based
Yeah.
on that right on the front. So you just sit there and you pop it on, and it's got these like little. It's not adjustable like Scott was talking about. It'll fit right on the housing of the body of the lens. So
Mm-hmm.
it works really well.
So, yeah, but speaking of 3D printed, here's a little 30
There you
millimeter
go.
guide scope Batinoff mask
Yep.
for my little 30 millimeter guide scope, so I can get that guy in focus whenever I'm using it with like my Rasa or my or any of my smaller scopes, or even with my lenses if I'm doing any type of auto guiding.
Eric, can I pigtail on what you're doing right now? Because this is an interesting setup.
Totally.
So if you guys can see this.
Yep.
So what this is this is a 24-inch dovetail plate. I got a 300 millimeter Canon lens, f2.8. At the very back here, you can see that I've got a filter drawer. And at the
Yep.
very back here, I've got the software bisque. Basically, it's their equivalent of the Eagle. Now, what I really want to show you is take a look at the focusing mechanism. What you can do is you can go to Idea Engineering. And what you do is you can order what they call is their bracket assembly for Canon lenses. And then you order a robo focus motor and the hand controller. And literally now you can go to McMaster Car and you can actually get the little belt that I've got here. And through Backyard EOS, you can control this with your Canon DSLR attached to this particular lens, or in that case, Nikon. So it's just a real quick little setup. If I want to go portable, I just put this thing together here and just run it all night. But it's really an
That's
inexpensive
really cool.
setup. But it's called
That is
Idea Engineering, and you'll see it listed under their astronomy menu.
Yeah. No, that's really cool, because that kind of reminds me of this guy here. This And I haven't had a chance to really get out here and use it yet, but very similar to what Pete has. This is just on a much smaller scale. This is a Rokinon 135, which is a fantastic 135 millimeter full frame prime lens. For astrophotography, and just had this set up. I purchased. This is the Astrodenium 3D printed.
Yep.
Focus EAF focusing rig. So for the 135, and as you can see in there is the ZWO EAF, and same thing like Pete had, from MasterCard. This one also came with, a small, belt, and so I can use this for focusing and everything. And eventually, I can slap on, there is a ZWO EO, you can either for Nikon or for Canon, and add on, so you can either put on a ZWO camera, or you can just use your DSLR. Yeah, either way, and then hook up your ASI Air with your EAF, and still and hook everything up, and you're ready to go. Very nice, very portable, just like Pete's there, because yours is what, a 400 millimeter.
That's a 400 millimeter. Yeah, Eric. So what you've got is just a really great little setup for a wide field. It'll set up 135 millimeter. Yeah.
Yeah. And yours is, for, you can really get tighter in and go and get a better magnification. But yeah, something like these. I got this little rig here, nice setup. I got this from off of a Gina Astro, really inexpensive, and I just had an extra Celestron Vixen dovetail and just put it on there. And like I said, like you're saying, easy just to grab something like this and just go.
Yeah.
And Eric, that's got the capability, right? That doesn't exceed the payload capacity of like a little star tracker. So I mean, if you wanted just to kind of go out, yeah. So that's the good thing about it is that some nights it's just nice to go ultra portable, right? So that would be the perfect little grab and go setup.
Yeah, anything hits that that 11-pound mark. So the new GTI or the Star Adventure or the iOptron Sky Tracker Pro, or your Move Shoot Move that you use quite a bit.
Yep, I have it. Yep.
All those types of Star Trackers, those types of rigs that Eric is showing right now are perfect for something like that. So if you want something that you're just going to get a nice one, you're shooting Milky Way, or you're doing wide field right above Sagittarius and you're getting the whole area over there, something like that, it does you're framing a Milky Way shot that was over a hill or something, whatever. That's what this is kind of for. And it's really, really nifty to just pick it up with one hand and just throw it on top of it.
Just go for it. So too bad that this setup here really isn't as adjustable, because this is actually designed for the 135. But if there was also a setup to utilize the 24 millimeter, I mean, you can imagine here you got Milky Way. Here you've got nice wide field. I mean, this is the 135 is what I use to capture an image row of Yugas right there near Sagittarius. I use this also for going after the blue horsehead when I was in New Mexico. This is the setup that I used. So you can get really good wide field, just as good as if you had a red cat, just a little bit wider. So you can get some really good wide field shots just from your DSLR, or like I said, you can buy the adapter from ZWO. And if you wanted to use a ZWO camera, you can go ahead and put that in here. You can even, I think they even have the ZWO adapters that you can even put in a 2-inch filter with this guy, so you can have it for your full frame and use a 2-inch filter and just have at it. So
they make the ZWO filter slider, a camera adapter that will go.
It is exactly.
Yep,
it
goes
exactly.
For Nikon and Canon.
Yeah, and so for something like that, it's really
that's the nice thing about Canon is Canon on their telephoto lenses have the drop-in filter slot already incorporated. I don't think Nikon does. And Scott, you can attest to that. But that's the beauty about the fact that you can pull out that slider and you can basically hone it out to be able to accommodate a drop-in filter, a mounted drop-in filter with the retainer ring on the glass. So it's kind of cool to do that. That's the one thing I do like about the Canon lenses.
Yeah. You got a question regarding the 135? You stop it down?
Yeah,
keep it fully open?
I actually have kept this one. I either go 2.8, but when I was shooting RAW, I think I was at f4. I think I was at f4. So and it came out really nice.
Nice. Yeah, it did. Go check it out.
Yeah,
it's on his Astrobin page.
Yeah. So much better corners. it's a lot more. It was just a lot easier for me to get those corners in. So instead of having it completely open, I didn't really see the need to go completely like f2 or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think f4, in my opinion, for this guy, for the 135, I think that's a sweet spot. I think f4 is just perfect for this guy.
It's kind of interesting. There's one thing that we really haven't talked about on this show, and maybe this is the perfect segue to talk about it. But we've talked about the Chinese-made cameras, QHY and ZWO. Have you noticed the difference between the two on their back focus? Really interesting is we all know that when we do back focus calculations, if you're limited by back focus, take a look at ZWO and their tilt plate adapter. It's incorporated into their camera. Their back focus on their camera only is 12.5 millimeters.
Right.
But if you notice that they say it's 17.5, so that particular tilt plate is attached to it. Whereas QHY is 17.5 millimeters, and their tilt plate adapter adds another 6 millimeters. So now you're looking at 23.5.
Correct.
So
but
again,
some of the ZWO cameras, or a lot of them, don't have that tilt plate on them. Only certain
Yeah,
models
they don't.
do.
Yeah.
So
but the high end.
the high-end ones
high-end
have it, yeah, absolutely. But most of the ones, the sub $2,000 cameras, it's 17.5, because believe it or not, there's a 11 millimeter black ring on most of them that's actually detachable. Now the actual back spacing from the camera housing to the sensor is only 6.5 millimeters. So then you add the 11 millimeter spacer on the front. That actually, the camera actually comes boxed with it on. But if you look at that back focus display, the graphic, they actually count it as different, not the camera. So the camera is 6.5. The 11 millimeter spacer makes it 17.5 plus all the rest.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like the 6200, the
Right.
higher end full frame.
Yeah.
Because
here's the
2600.
M42 tilt adapter for ZWO, and this is what I would use with my smaller, like say my 533 MC, or my 290, or my 294s, something like that, or 180.
Anything that didn't come with the tilt plate.
Anything that didn't come with the tilt plate.
So what I was going to kind of lead into here on this is that that's one topic that we really truly haven't discussed here on this show, is looking at, we've kind of mentioned it on the surface, but really haven't gotten into it. We talked about CCD inspector, but looking at the different options available for tilt plate adapters. Like you got the CTU from Gerd Newman, you've got the Octopi, you've got a multitude of different ones there. And it's something that maybe we should kind of discuss, because tilt now is really kind of coming into its own, and people are kind of thinking about, well, you know what, if I'm limited by back focus, which is the one tilt plate adapter I should really give consideration to. So if this is an open forum tonight, I was going to say we should probably kind of just maybe throw this up for discussion. Good point here, Eric, and you run with it right now to start.
Yeah, and there's the Gerd Newman right here. This is a M48 size, as well as, like I said, you've got this one here, which is T2 or for ZWO. And yeah, these are really, really handy. The one thing, especially with me, I have a Rasa 8. And the one thing that we struggle with the Rasa has been tilt. Some people were really questioning, hey, is my collimation off or anything like that? But when it comes to the Rasa, I don't think it is. It's not a collimation issue. It's a tilt issue. And being able to utilize items such as this T2 tilter, if you can utilize, I don't know if you can I don't think you can, because I think it's too big. The Gerd Newman, if they had a slightly slimmer one, the one thing I like about the Gerd Newman versus the ZWO. If you notice here, the ZWO adjusting, to adjust it with its Allen keys, everything is up front, right?
Yep.
You have to adjust it this way. The Gerd Newman, especially when it comes to a Rasa or anything like that, they're along the side, which is really ideal, especially when you're working with something like a Rasa or a Hyperstar, and you can't get, or any other type of camera or setup where you cannot get to these front these front hex bolts.
Yep. No way.
It's frustrating. There's no way you can get to them.
Nope.
So if having this Gerd Newman, that is ideal.
This is really great.
So,
and then if I'm not mistaken, the Octopi, right? Those are going to be custom made based upon what you've got, right?
Yes,
and
they can.
I mean, they're just like they're on the side as well, Eric. So that's the beauty about it, because you're right. It's frustrating to have the adjustment set screws on the top side because you can't get at them.
Nope.
But once again, these are the shortcomings that I'm thinking that ZWO will probably look at and say, hey, we got to make these revisions to be able to kind of put them on the side. But I agree with you, Eric. The Gerd Newman and the Octopi are truly the best when it comes to tilt plate adapters.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
I will be a big. I mean, I right now can't afford an Octopi, so I'll stick with the Gerd Newman. Octopi is quite expensive, but it is the creme de la creme. That is like probably the best one out there. But the Gerd Newman, I've had no problems with this one. I don't use one right now because my camera has one on it, but this is now positive death right now. But it will come out.
Dan, does that mean it's going to auction?
No. This is not. This is not
leaving.
I've been $1.
No, the Gerd Newman is not leaving. However, I was doing some cleaning of my positive death here, and you know what I found? More filter wrenches. I found more. I've given away 10 filter wrenches in the boxes, and I can't. They're like rabbits. They multiply like rabbits. These things, and these are a little bit on the big side. This is for 77 to 82 millimeters. So I mean, they're huge. No one's gonna ever use them for anything, but not at least in the telescope field.
Hey, Dan. Bloodstone's asking for the link. I think he's asking for the Gerd Newman link.
Yeah.
If you want to post that.
Yep, sure. Can do that.
I mean, even the ZWOs, you can get these from right off the ZWO website. You can get them from there, or other retailers, HPS, Agena, OPT. So very easily to get those.
Hey, Woodland Hills camera telescope, Eric.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, exactly. Woodland Hills. You know what? I should. You know what? I apologize because I know they're our sponsor, but I also buy. I bought a lot of stuff from Woodland Hills Telescopes.net, and there was one thing I was still contemplating was that guide scope, was it the Star Aid? Why did that have to be so expensive? Why does that have to be so expensive though? It's like $1,100. but it looks really. I love getting new toys and just trying things out, and that was just one that just like it. It really intrigues me.
Well,
really,
I tell you, remember we had Heinrichon. I mean, think about it. Typically with PhD2, that's the software-driven guide or algorithm. But you have to definitely do calibration at 30 degrees plus or minus, celestial equator, 1 or 2 hours east or west of meridian. With the Star Aid, you point it anywhere, and guess what? It'll self-calibrate, and it'll also do your polar alignment. It'll do your polar alignment for you as well. So I mean, once again, now it eliminates the need for a pole master, and it's
Mhm.
self-calibrated. And it
Yeah.
really has a lot of functions. Once again, it's made in Europe. Consequently, when it gets shipped overseas, there's duty, there's VAT.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's
Yeah,
nothing we
VAT
can
tax
do.
and
It's just
all
the way
that
it is.
stuff.
I mean,
We don't get VAT taxed.
we don't
We
get
get
VAT
duty.
tax, but you get
But
duty
we get
tax.
duty.
Oh, you
Yeah, we
get
get
duty
duty
tax.
tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing about it. But the nice thing about it is that it literally automates auto guiding. So it takes that out of the equation that you can focus now on what else you need to really focus on. I mean, no pun intended,
Right.
but yeah. I mean, how often do we have to go ahead and within PhD, and this is no knock against PhD. I like PhD too. You have to do the guide wizard, and it takes you 5 or 10 minutes to be able to run it through a couple worm cycles to be able to find out what the guiding assistant's trying to tell you. That gets all eliminated with the star aid. The key that
Yeah.
you need to do though is with the star aid, you need to use it with a lens that's no more than say 240 millimeters focal length, because it needs to have a wide field of view because it guides on multiple stars, just like PhD. So, I agree with you. It's expensive, but there's nothing we can do about it. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. I totally agree with you, but it's just that, I mean, that just is what it is.
Everything's
It's just, it
expensive.
really, really intrigues me, to have that, so you don't need to worry about, that the things you have to do with PhD too, like having it at a certain declination. It's ideal if you go, I believe it's ideal if you go to if you're at zero declination, to do the calibration, right? And to go through the guiding assistance and everything like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, once again, it's plus or minus 30 degrees above or below celestial equator, 1 or 2 hours east or west of meridian. So
Okay.
it gives you a little, that's what you have to do within PhD too. Whereas with star aid, it doesn't matter. Just point the scope at where it wants to go and then just start, do your calibration. It'll determine where it's at because it's actually does its own plate solving. So it's got a lot of these built-in algorithms. Yeah. And the other thing too is that it can be run with the USB, plus it's actually wireless. You can run it through wireless, which is kind of cool too. So I mean, now you eliminate another cable that you don't have to worry about, like a USB cable. So, you've got that capability. So, these are the functions, features that kind of make the cost go up in price.
Right. Yeah, and it's something that I won't be able to use, like with my ASI Air. But if I had, if I go to my Nina setup, then there you go. I can totally, just use Nina and I can have at it. So
is Scott with us or Scott? Oh, there he is. Scott's dozing off. Chime in, Scott.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
You guys can still hear me,
I
right?
mean, totally, man. Yeah, we got you, man.
Okay.
Yeah, tilt adjusters, tilt adapters. The one thing, especially if you do go out and you do get, say, like CCD inspector, it's just, just to take your time, and just keep at it. I mean, this one of those moments where if you, like over on, they say a new moon, not a new moon, but a full moon, or you're really getting towards that time, you don't want to probably do it when you're on a new moon. You don't want to waste those nights. But if you're at a full moon and you want to start working on tilt adjustment or something like that, I think that's the time to really go ahead and utilize these guys and to go for it and to do that work with CCD inspector. Is there any other alternative to help with? Does anybody know within the viewers any other software or utility that can help determine tilt other than CCD inspector? Dan, do you know?
Nina actually does a little bit with Hocus Focus.
Okay.
So when you do your sequence and it takes an image with Hocus Focus, at the end of the Hocus Focus, it'll give you a colored display of your tilt and your back focus.
Nice.
So it'll tell you you're too far or you're too close, and it'll show you the angle of each corner of your chip. It's actually pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Tilt, yeah, ASTAP. We've spoken about that on the show as well.
Yeah, ASTAP. Thank you. Yeah, that's one.
ASTAP does. Personally, I like the older version of ASTAP. They upgraded ASTAP. I'm not talking the plate solving part, because the plate solving part's just super
Yeah.
fast, super awesome. I'm just talking about the tilt and the curvature algorithms that they use. They changed the display. They changed some things with it. It's not as user friendly as it used to be. If you have the older version, keep it.
Keep it. Yeah, I know we talked about that in the past.
we did. And again, that's a personal thing. I'm sure it's a Coke and Pepsi thing. But that's what it is. That's my personal opinion. I'm sure in functionality, there's no difference. It's just my brain block that I like certain things, and everybody does. Everybody likes the way they know how it works. And sometimes change isn't the better for that person, but for somebody just coming in, they don't know it's changed, so it's new to them, so everything's fine. So just keep that in mind when you're doing everything. Pix Insight
Dan,
also does stuff.
Remember, Dan, we talked about, people can stress over the smallest degree of tilt. Trust me, you're not going to see tilt visually up until about maybe 23%, maybe even 25%. So if you're between 3 to 17, don't worry about it. Unless you pixel peep, you're not going to really see tilt. It's when you get above 25%, then you're going to really start to notice it visually. So, as I said, people can stress and they kind of just, I got to get this down to a gnat's butt. Think about it. It's just, once again, you can really just go anal on this. So just be prepared that you're okay up to about maybe 23%, and you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You won't visually be able to notice it.
And I think that goes back to one of the points that we bring in, not only with tilt, curvature, guiding numbers, all this kind of stuff that people could really, really get super focused on these things that may or may not be. There's a law of diminishing returns. I mean, is that tilt issue from 8% to 4% going to make a difference to you? And that's true, Dave. Fast scopes are more sensitive, but for the normal run-of-the-mill scope, F7 refractors to F10 Schmitz, or all these different types. You going down to F1.9, yeah, it's going to definitely be a bigger difference. But people can sit there. The bottom line is the picture pleasing to the eye? Are your stars round?
And are they
and are they points? Exactly. So are they they call it eccentricity. That is the shape of the stars, and your FWHM, your focus. There are two different things. But as long as you have those two things aligned to the point where you're not having any egging, that's what I call egging of the stars, it kind of elongates.
Eccentricity.
Yeah, which is eccentricity.
And eggy star.
Absolutely. And the bloating of the star due to focus, not due to seeing. So there are a lot of things to do. But listen, if you sit there and you look at your picture and you think the stars are good, use the data. Use the data. I mean, if you're shooting an F7 refractor and your tilt's 20%, it may be fine. If you're running an F2 8-inch, Rasa, well, 20% is going to be a big deal.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, and that's and that's why one reason why I ended up trying to was going after the Gerd Newman is I still have to determine, and get my back focus and everything correct, because I think you only have 25 mil of back focus with the Rasa. So I've got to get it, so I got to get it nailed down really good. And hopefully.
The other thing, Eric, is what's your vocal ratio on that scope? Because your critical focus zone, remember, the critical focus zone is your vocal ratio squared times 2.2. You've only got probably no more than 15 microns for your critical focus zone. So you got to be dead nuts on your back focus. You have to be dead nuts.
Yes, I have to be. Yeah, absolutely. So, if I end up, I going into CCD inspector after I take a few shots and my tilt is in the 20s or 30s percentile, yeah, I've got a little bit of work to to try to do to get things where I need them to be, which is one of the reasons why I decided to I wanted to try the Gerd Newman, was because of the modifications I could do, because of the side Allen screws here, hex screws here, so I can do adjustments. But I need to just double check
Well,
because I don't
I
know.
wanted to check on something with that, Eric, and I think I don't know if it might be me and I'm just not understanding it right. With the Gerd Newman, and I have it right here. I have the same one that you have. These ones on the sides here, that's not for tilt.
That is not for tilt? I thought that was for tilt.
No, that's shifting the collimation of the two rings. That's not for tilt. Just so we're telling the right thing here.
So you think, yeah, thank you.
So the collimation is still the push pulls here.
The larger,
these guys, and these there's some springs in here too somewhere.
Okay.
I'm not sure where they are.
All right, that's my fault. Sorry.
Yeah, so these are still your tilt adjustments. These 2, 4, 6, and these 3 on 3 what is it 2, 10, 2, and 6 on the sides. Those are collimation screws for the 2 different rings.
Okay, then I was confused. My bad.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that real quick.
No, so thank you.
No problem.
Here I am giving out bad info.
No. Hey, listen, I thought they were for that too. I thought you could kind of do it where it kind of lifts things up, but it's just it's a side to side motion for collimation of the rings.
Gotcha.
See, and then this kind of brings into another segue that we've talked about a long time ago, but we haven't really talked about it in the past, is when we look at seam conditions. And let's say we've got our full width half maximum between, say, maybe 2 to 3 arc seconds. Okay. People think that, okay, well, what should I shoot then? Should I shoot 1 by 1 or 2 by 2? And I can say up to 3 arc seconds, you can shoot 1 by 1 or 2 by 2. If you're between, say, 2 or 3 to 4 arc seconds per pixel, or excuse me, 3 to 4 arc seconds, then I would say maybe shoot 2 by 2. If you're between 4 and 5, then you want to go 3 by 3. If you're above 5 arc seconds, trust me, you don't want to image that night because you got so much turbulence going on. That star is going to be scintillating over a central point focus. So at that particular point, I would either just drink brandy or just do visual. But definitely between 2 to 3, it's kind of a flip of a coin. You can do 1 by 1, you can do 2 by 2, and you'll be fine. But it's interesting is how all this kind of leads into each of these little discussions that we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's good to have this kind of back and forth with this different types of conversations, because I see people that are thinking about messing around with their scope already in the chat that they're I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. But listen, if I've already helped. I think Steve, Captain 404, sent me an image that he sent, and he wanted me to run it through CCD inspector just so I could kind of take a look at it. I took a look at it, and he's got a red cat. So easy fix with the red cat, because the red cat comes with a built-in tilt plate on the back. So all you need is a visual of kind of what your tilt is. In Steve's case, he was 94%. Actually, it was a 94-degree tilt, almost straight down. Okay, at 29 or 30%, if I remember right. So all he's got to do is bring that back end up a little bit, and he's good. So
So in other words, the 29% was what he was actually seeing as the tilt. So you're right. That was definitely a visual. You can see that.
So it was a tilt, and it was only on the bottom, which made it even worse, because the top was all good. It's just that the bottom was like, I guess, either pushed out or pushed in. You know, you'll have to kind of figure that out which way it is by making some adjustments. But you make a little bit of adjustment, take another picture, run it through. If the number gets better, keep going that way. If it gets worse, go the other way. That's all.
Yep. I tell you, that's the one thing I like
was.
about CCD Inspector. I mean, it's so inexpensive. It really is just a great program to be able to use. I mean, it's just such a great program that I would recommend that, believe me, for anybody, you don't need to get the whole CCD Wear suite. You just need to get CCD Inspector.
I think it's still like $175, $180, something like that.
Absolutely.
Something like that. Yeah.
But it's worth it. And you know what? I mean, let's see if I could show real quick. Let's see. I know I have it right here since we're talking about it. I hate that they moved the start button on Windows 11. I hate it. CCD Inspector. And then I'll put it in here. Here we go. So here's CCD Inspector, and I'll share the screen here. And sorry, Steve, I'm using your data. So I know you don't mind, but here we go. And this is CCD Inspector. So I loaded up one of the images from one of our members here. And this is NGC 7000. It's a 2-minute shot with a 533 and a red cat. Okay. All you got to do is you could do either measure or curvature, either one. I like doing the measure because I like seeing everything. So it'll do everything at first. So this one is a 26.2% curvature with a tilt of not so bad right to left, but up and down, you got a 3.3 minute tilt on that. And if you wanted to see a visual representation of that, you can just hit the curvature map here, and then you can see what it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll give you a couple things, right? It'll give you a total curvature. And then once you fix this curvature, watch these minimum and maximum FWHM, which is your focus. Watch them start to match up with each other, because it'll start getting more in focus as you fix the curvature and the tilt. So you got a 3.3 minute tilt. And look at the bottom here. So pink is like red alert. It's like there's something wrong here. And it'll tell you your total tilt is 31%. And it's all down. You're at minus 94 degrees. So then you just take another one and get this number down to as close to, if you want to go crazy and get down to close to 0 as you can. But as you get this degree of error down, your tilt will go down. Hopefully your curvature will go down as long as your back spacing is right, followed by your FWHM will get better as well. So that's how that works. And it's pretty darn cool. So
yeah, it's just, something like that. Like I was saying earlier, do this on a night where you're not too, concerned about imaging, like maybe a full moon or close to that time where if you don't want to do any narrow band and you just want to get out there and, just start working with your equipment, and not take advantage, and not miss out on, those darker nights.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so that's the Gerd Newman. I'm actually looking at here, and
yeah, I thought there. Okay, so yeah, 17.3 mil backspace. I mean, sorry, thickness. This is thickness. I thought there was a smaller one as well. So I have to tinker around with this and take a look at it myself again. But they've got them for Canon. He sells them. Gerd Newman, he sells them the CTUs for Canon. You got them for Nikon. So no, these are really, really cool.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you're thinking about that, check them out.
So for CCD Inspector, what I find is that using one image in CCD Inspector isn't as accurate as taking 4 or 5 images and letting it do an average of the tilt and the curvature. So you could highlight more than one image. You could highlight 4 or 5 images all together. They'll all be highlit. And you hit the curvature map, it'll come up with one image and it'll come up with an average of the tilt and the curvature. So that's definitely something that you could do. Okay.
All right.
Dead air. All right. So we got a couple of things left. We got to do the wheel for the $50 gift certificate. And I think that's all we have tonight. That's it.
Okay.
But yeah, so let's do some more. I see a couple people. I see Logan is talking about the CTU in there. And yeah, so these collimation screws, I'm going to do some more information gathering on that. But my understanding is it's for the collimation of the ring itself. I could be wrong on that. I could have read it incorrectly, or I could have gotten wrong information as well. But we shall see. Steve is asking if it stopped raining in Florida yet, Scott. I guess that's a no. I see the nod.
I guess that's a no. I guess. Yeah, no, because isn't there a named storm like right now in Puerto Rico, unfortunately?
Yep, it's getting hit.
Fiona?
Right. Yep.
Fiona.
Yeah.
Hurricane Fiona.
Yep.
Yeah. Near Florida.
Scott, when's that supposed to hit Florida?
It isn't.
Oh, it's supposed to go into the Gulf?
Yeah, it's going up the Gulf. It's going up the Gulf Stream, the east coast of the United States. But it's 100.
Oh.
It's 250, 300 miles off the coast.
Okay.
It's not going to hit until it hits Canada.
Well, that's okay. And by that time, it'll probably be breaking all apart by then.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. Well, that's good for at least the mainland. Just sucks for Puerto Rico and and where it's been hitting.
Yeah, it blew past Turks and Caicos. It sideswiped Turks.
And we just lost the audio there, Scott.
Yeah, sorry. We just lost audio, bud.
Okay.
So
anyway,
heading up towards Bermuda, but okay.
Let's see. We got any more questions?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of curious about.
Everyone's talking about the hurricane that isn't going to be. You know what I could show real quick was a picture that I was showing before by accident. So I just finished this for a customer. So this is a 11-inch edge with the reducer, an adapter, the Monster Moag, a manual rotator, 2600 with the 2-inch filter wheel. So I just finally, after 4 weeks of waiting for this guy right here, the precise parts adapter right here, finally got it all together, ready to go, and the customer has it, and he is a super happy person. What you could see in the background, some Prima Luce boxes. Those we actually had to take off. It created a back spacing issue. So I don't know if you could see it right here, but we actually opted for the Optec FTX 20 motor for the Feather Touch that was already on there. So why switch a good thing if you don't have to? So now he's going to take the Prima Luce stuff. He's got a 127, and we're going to fit that to his 127 carbon fiber at his house. So that's the next project. But this is the first one. He's got it, and hopefully we'll start seeing some lights out of this probably within the next month or so. So I'm gonna make a race. I'm gonna see who gets a picture first, because this guy has bought his scope the same time Scott bought his scope and hasn't taken a picture either. So so I'm gonna say I'm gonna put it to the race of who takes a good picture first.
When is
Actually, I've got a whole bunch of pictures.
when is the rainy season over? Is it, as far as for Florida, is it closer to
Late October.
Yeah.
Yep, late October.
Okay. But then you get out there, man, and everything clears out.
Yeah.
You get out there and have some fun.
I see people are making fun of me at my expense with my hair.
Yeah. There's nothing new there. There's nothing new
I was
there,
going
bro.
to say that.
For those of you that have been members of the show for more than 1 year, every year I do a walkthrough of one of the neighboring towns, and I do Pennywise the Clown. And I don't like wearing the wig, so I grow out my hair so I can kind of just do it, and it looks more natural than the skull cap and all that kind of stuff. So it looks more natural, it's cool, and it's a lot more scarier as I think it's all real. So and I'm about 15 pounds lighter, so I'll look like Skarsgård, with the makeup. so. Oh, I got pictures of last year. I can show you that.
So here, let me share this with you guys, because I was just actually pulled up some old data of mine using my Rasa when I was imaging the flaming star, and get you guys' thoughts on this, and maybe get the viewers' thoughts. And it came out. The imaging didn't come out too bad, but let me share my screen here.
Eric, I think you talked about that, right? That we should submit our images and then let the audience kind of pick and choose who they think that took the photo. I think that's cool.
We set a date for that, didn't we?
Oh, didn't we?
Yeah.
If not, we should.
We should,
did.
though.
No, we did. Let me take a look and see. Most creative. I have so much stuff on my calendar now. It makes no sense. It's all red.
What we do, Dan, every day.
It's out of control. The sad thing is I got a calendar for all my postings to remind me of all the posts. But let's see, you got it up, Eric?
Yeah. So here's the flaming star.
Yep.
So this was the flaming star and the tadpole that I took with the 8-inch Rasa. So this was I think maybe last year or a ways away. But I wanted to take a look at the tilt, because we were talking about tilt and CCD inspector. So here it is. This was 11 images. This was 11 light frames of, taken from off of this image here. So, and this was with the Rasa. So I'm at tilt 13%. And and if you take a look here, there was the warning area.
Yeah.
So overall, curvature, yeah. All right. My curvature was about 25%. Tilt wasn't too bad, I guess. What do you guys think? This is F2, so I think maybe I should work it a little bit more.
You can. I don't know. Again, the law of diminishing returns. If at F2, if you get that down to single digits, you'd be all the more better, because then that pink.
Eric,
once you get it to 9, I wouldn't even mess with it.
Right.
Eric, let's take a look at the photograph. Let's take a look at those 5 stars in the center.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's look at those. You can see there's a little elongation on those. Now, they could have been a little bit tighter, but you notice that they're kind of just slightly egg-shaped, right?
Yeah. Yep.
They're not.
Sure.
Yep. They're just slightly egg-shaped. They just need to be a little bit tighter. But that's your indication right there.
Okay.
Eric,
call.
can you take a look at the top right-hand corner? That's what I want to see. I want to see if I could see that tilt up in there.
Yep. You can kind of see. You see how those stars are just slightly
Yeah,
elongated?
you definitely
Just
can.
slightly. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's very, very subtle. It's very subtle, the tilt issue.
Yeah,
but you can
because
definitely
remember
see it.
you're almost, you know, remember you're right there. You're so close.
Mm-hmm. So this just, you know, this goes to show this is the problem that that RASA owners have. It's not collimation, it's tilt. It's the tilt issue that we all deal with. So that's the thing we all, a lot of, you know, because I also am the admin of the RASA 8 owners group from Facebook. And this is one of the things we talk about. And you see it even on Cloudy Nights and other forums and stuff. But, you know, yeah, if you pull back, yeah, doesn't look too bad. I mean, yeah, the larger stars, absolutely. You can see that slight elongation. But overall, well, it's not too bad of a shot. I'm still happy with it.
No, it's a good shot. Absolutely.
It's a good shot.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it also, like I say, you know, just having that, this is why it's so, you know, having that tilt, it's just so sensitive. And to your point there, Dan, you wanted to take a look at that one corner. There it is. So you can even tell. So when I went back over there and we showed that corner, why, you know, that's what you have to deal with. So this is another one of the things you know, and I'm gonna keep plugging away with.
Yep, that's what we got to do. But
It's got to hone our skill set, right?
you got to sharpen the saw,
Yeah.
man. Got to sharpen the saw.
Yeah.
That's right.
So let's make a date right now.
Transformation can fix those eggs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you could squash them a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so all you got to do is in morphological transformation is and again, this is an after the fact thing, you know, to everyone that's going to yell at me, get it in chip and get it fixed first, then you won't have to do this. But you mimic the shape of the star in morphological transformation. You have like a grid of like 9 or 16 or little bricks. So you make the shape of the star because they're all going to be the same shape and angle, kind of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you make the shape, and then you could squash it by a certain number. You hit apply, and it all of a sudden will either squash this way or squash this way or squash this way, depending on what your picture looks like in the grid.
Gotcha.
It's actually pretty
There's so
easy.
much still, yeah, but there's so much, you know, that because I still play with and still work with APP and Lightroom. There's so much that I have to learn within Photoshop itself to take those little tweaks, you know, like with morphological transformation and others, and just understand how to use them and just clean things up. So it's just, you know, just learning. I'm gonna have to spend time doing. That's all.
All right. So how about we do? No, I'm away. October 14th for people to critique our photos. That's the second Friday in October.
I think that's a good idea. October 14th.
October 4th. I'm going to put it in our calendar right now.
So we got to send those over to you, right, Dan?
You got to send them all to me. Tell me who you are. I won't say anything, but tell me who you are. I won't say anything to the group either when we're on the show. And we'll just do it like anonymous. And we'll see.
Two images a piece, or three,
work.
Or
two
just two, right? I think, yeah, 2 would be good. Okay.
So, host critique show, and that's going to be October 14th.
This one now? Have you got images?
Oh, about 3 or 4.
Scott's got cuts, right? Scott, you got some from the past, right? You can submit.
I've got some M42.
Oh, you're
Okay,
not supposed to
perfect then.
tell us what you got, Scott. That's the whole thing. So much for that. Yeah, so like two thing, and Jessie will be there too. So I mean, we'll get two from her as well, as long as she's not, the high school kids didn't kill her with questions, So I got it set for October 14th, and don't forget October 5th coming up. And I got 4 images right now. So get your most creatively messed up astro photo in for the 5th show. That's going to be the 5th. So get it in. Put it on the Google Drive. Get it in. And then the Wednesday before that, we have our regular. That's the last Wednesday of the month. We have our regular critique night for anybody that wants to send us images and want a little critique about it. Feel free to send it to us. Again, there is a critique night folder in the Google Drive. You can dump it in there. What else do we got going on? I see people have been asking for Pepper. Pepper's actually sleeping with Jen, but I've been making Pepper Tuesday online, and it's now my Have a Peppy Tuesday campaign. so last one was just Pepper just wanted to go outside, and you just making little faces. And let's see, that's it. Let's see, contact us. What else we got in the chat? Reducer and flattener are also close and tilt. Yes. Yep. MX Quattro. Yeah. Just give me your address again, Bob. I'll send you that filter. I'll send you a filter red for free. There you go. There's 2 of them in here. All right.
Yeah, I'm actually taking a look at Simon. Simon made a comment about these ASG photon cage.
Yep.
So I'm actually, looking at it right now. It's not cheap, but if it can do the job, then hey, then it can do the job.
Or you could just get a refractor, dump it down to F5, and have a day.
I've got a refractor, dude. But I'm gonna make this thing work.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking forward to get that 10-inch ODK up. That's what I'm looking forward for.
Okay,
that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm just waiting. I think I got. Let's see, how long? I think 2 more weeks, and Precise Parts will be here. And I'm going to throw that on my mount and see what I could get out of it before I send it on over to its new home in Long Beach Island. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Customer data OUK will be shipped priority mail on October 5th. So 2 weeks. So that should be a lot of fun. All right. Well, it's 10:45. I think what you want to spin the wheel?
go for it, man.
Let's spin the wheel.
Let's do it.
Let's spin the wheel. Let me get it up here for the $50 gift certificate to Camera Concepts. Let me get this. And open and CCTS. Oh, wow. We got 86 people on this one. Okay. There we go. All right. So we got 86 people on this for $50. Free money, everybody. Here we go. Augustine Herrero. Augustine,
congratulations.
Congrats, Augustine. I'll send you an email tonight with a link, and you will be able to fill that out, and I can get your information to Camera Concepts, and you can put it towards any purchase over there, online or in the store. So if you're local and you're in the store, you come see me on Thursday. That's tomorrow. Yeah, so congratulations, Augustine. Don't forget, What you want to do? You want to do final thoughts first before I do the don't forget?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go around, let's do it.
Go around. Absolutely. Final thoughts.
No, I think we've hit on a lot of good topics today. Talking about tilt, talking about all of the other cool things that are, you can utilize. Your lenses, if you want to utilize lenses for any particular type of shot. I think the tilt thing, though, that was a really good topic.
I think it was too.
So I think that's something that we should do a bit more often. But besides that, another great show. Definitely, again, don't forget to check out Reach for the Stars, and Lima, or is it or in Dan's charity and outreach that he's trying to work on. So, consider them, check them out. And don't forget, hey, we only got 2 more days or another day or so before we choose the image of the week.
Yep.
So, keep
we
those.
Got a lot of good entries this week.
That's good.
Let's see. So let's see if I can get there again real quick. I'll show it to you. So what we got so far. And I think I took the voting off it, so you couldn't see it. So here we go. So picture of the week. Here we go. So this is the first one.
Very nice.
Yep. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not sure who took this. But I think
out of York, out of the United Kingdom.
Yeah, out of the UK. But I think this one here is SH2115. And I'm pretty sure that this one here is SH2112 because I just did that one and they look almost exactly the same. So
okay.
So I think, and I don't know what this is. I'm not sure what that is. But
correct me if I'm wrong on that.
What's that?
Is that like a little planetary nebula?
Looks like it. It looks like it, but I don't know what it is. But we could look at that later. Then we got Greg Meyer. Nice little wide field Andromeda galaxy right here.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And then we got NGC 7000, the Pelican. That is by, who is that by?
Al.
Oh, there you go. Al Need. There you go. And then we got Andromeda.
Andromeda's out. Yep.
Dave Schaefer. And then we got the Iris. Mike Gibbs. I think this is the last one. This is Josh. M11 right there. And that's the last one. And don't forget the August picture of the month. This Friday, I believe we give it. So get your votes in. There's only 2. There's George and there's Bob. So those are the only 2. We only got 25 votes in so far. So get in and vote for the picture of the week and picture of the month. Picture of the month for last month ends this Friday. So get your votes in. We only have 12 votes for the picture of the week right now. That's very lame compared to the 150 that we had a while ago. So that's very lame. Very lame. But definitely get in there, vote. I put in stuff on Facebook and on the go check out the AstroWorld TV Facebook page or the Discord channel. It's all over the place. So get out and vote. Get these guys some good votes so they could feel good about their pictures because they all done a really, really great job. So, Mr. Pete.
Well, good show tonight. It was really informative. I'm looking forward to everybody. I've got a suggestion that, maybe on Friday, Eric, you had talked about maybe presenting. I'll leave it up to you to kind of discuss, but maybe what we could do is we could say, hey, that could be maybe in the next 4 months, because we're getting into fall and getting into winter. Maybe we could set those up for the images for the month. If you kind of like to do something like that, we can kind of make suggestions of targets, celestial targets that we would recommend. And I think that might be something we could present on Friday.
Yeah, and
and speaking of Friday, I've got my presentation. We're going to talk a little bit about star catalogs.
Yep,
on Friday.
That's right.
So
different catalogs, Messier, Caldwell, and others. So
many, and then there's others. There
is a lot of others. So and don't forget, if you miss the show when we talk about targets, you can always check out the AstroWorld newsletter. Sean Nielsen writes up targets for the month of whatever month we're giving out. So he writes it for the newsletter that we have. If you want the newsletter, go to astroworldweb.com and go on the contact us page. All the way at the bottom, you can subscribe to the newsletter or hit me up and say you want the newsletter, because that's pretty cool. It's all pictures that Sean Nielsen has done, and his picks for. So he'll be doing. I gotta hit him up for October this week. So
okay,
it's already October.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I was like, well, in the who is that guy from Billy Madison, the one that passed away, the comedian, yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, it's like, hey, what day is it? October. Mr. Scott, totally tubular.
Yeah, I'm looking at that ZWO camera, trying to figure out how to adjust the tilt on it while it's mounted to the image train. I think I've got enough space to get a small Allen key in there. I think that it's just enough. That precise parts left me just enough room to do that.
Very small finger.
Yeah. No, we'll see. I got to play around with it and see. So yeah, the topic on tilt was good, especially seeing as we have that CCD inspector, right, Eric?
Yep,
exactly.
So,
sure do.
So,
a lot of fun. So mix your tilt.
Good stuff.
Absolutely. All right. So this Friday, Eric's going to do his different catalogs. I'll come up with something that I'm going to do. I don't know yet. And I think Jessie has something that she wants to present as well. So again, we're back to basics again on Friday night, talking about some really basic stuff and some things that we may have forgotten, or we may just want to go over again, because you know what, Friday is beginners Q&A night. So that's what we do on Friday night at 8:00. Don't forget, this Wednesday coming up, we got the AstroWorld TV critique night that we're going to be doing. So send in your photos to the Google Drive. The following Wednesday, the 5th, the most creatively messed up astro photo. Get your stuff in there, mess them up as good as you can, and just send them to us. Most creatively. It's got to be creatively messed up. And then the 14th, and that's as far as I'll go ahead, is the host critique show. Don't forget as well, if you want to make a donation to either one of the two fundraisers that Eric and I are trying to gather funds for, please visit astroweb.com and put in the, donate either through PayPal, and put a note in there on what organization it's for. And then, or if you wanted to do it directly, you could either go to Reach for the Stars and you could do it there, or go through the GoFundMe and do it for LAS for the Lima Observatory in Ohio. So super important if we get some funds together for them. It'd be great if we could. It'd be good, put to a good good use. Trust me, on both sides. So, so that being
More to
said,
come. More to come.
oh yeah, a lot more to come. Hopefully, we can get Reach for the Stars on, and hopefully, we can get LAS to come on too. So, I know sometimes scheduling's a little rough, but hopefully, we can figure it out. What else is going on? That's about it. Just the two guests. Our next guest will be November 9th, Dr. Sass, followed by the 23rd. We'll have the threesome of Dr. Sass, Charles Bracken, and Dr. Whitby. So, everybody, listen, thank you all for hanging out. I think we dropped all of our, 24 people still hanging out. So, do I still have the funds from the web store? Yes, of course I have the funds. We're doing that actually this Friday. Is it this Friday? $100 giveaway. Let me see.
Or was it the end of the month?
Let's say it was the last Friday of the month, so it was the 30th. So
30th.
You still have time to get your Astro Club in the running. We have right now, just so you know, we have, what do we got? Augustine. Okay, we have, what do we got? Open and club donation wheel. We have 12 clubs in there that are eligible for the $100 gift certificate from the members of AstroWorld. So that's going to be all on. Whenever we make a donation of anything, it's not from AstroWorld. Just so everybody knows, it's being put under the name of the members of AstroWorld, and everyone will be, so AstroWorld does not take the credit for any of this. This is all about the members and the members giving back to the community. So I just wanted to make that kind of clear. There was a question of that somewhere. But that being said, I think that's all I got. Anybody got anything else?
No, I'm good, dude.
No.
Somebody else does.
All right, awesome. All right, everybody. Well, again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for coming down and hanging out with us for episode 193 of AstroWorld. So we're getting really close to that.
200, Dan.
Yeah, so it looks like 193, 194, 195, 196, 197, 198, 199. It looks like it's gonna be October 7th. Will be 200.
Wow.
Assuming we don't cancel one somewhere. So, but it looks like October 7th is going to be number 200. So, freaking milestone, guys. I mean,
I'm going to ask the membership to spread the word and get your friends, families, and everybody else to join in and just watch the show for episode 200.
Yep. And I'm going to try and get a special giveaway for that night. So I'm going to try and do something and hook something up. So whether that be the AstroWorld hoodie or something else, we'll figure something else out, because maybe we could get a donation. Maybe some of my friends could hook us up. So we'll see.
And seriously, speaking of that, just a reminder: if you like what we're doing, you like what we're presenting, you're enjoying the show, do us a favor, share the show. If you're on Facebook and checking it out through Facebook, share it through there, share it through your friends' feeds. Let us, and also drop us some lines. Let us know how well we're doing and what things you guys would like to see as well, and as part of the show, or maybe improvements that you would like us to maybe consider making or anything like that. That would be really helpful. But yeah, we're getting towards 200, guys. So that's a great milestone. I can't believe it. So
I know.
Yeah, anything anybody can do to make any suggestions, appreciate it. But yeah, definitely just share the show. Sharing is caring, caring is sharing. Drop it in your friends' feed, stuff like that. If they like astronomy and it's astrophotography, drop it in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We need more peeps. We need more peeps.
We need more people.
Need more peeps. We love love to get more people on that Discord. That Discord channel keeps on growing, man. We're close to 100 members already. So it's, you know, that's a lot of fun. You know, you know, and it's all in good fun. So you know, everybody join us and just hang out with us, and you know, we have a lot of fun, and we every once in a while we get these nice little nuggets of information. So you know, and come join us on Friday night. Good night for beginners. So that being said, everybody, thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for chilling out with us for the past 2 hours. And again, we'll see you on Friday. And as always, remember to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you Friday night. Have a good night, everybody.